How is everyone doing today? I am going to speak about something that really affected me in the past, and I have mentioned it, but today I just want to go in a little detail. I'm just being led to speak on things that have affected me in the past, and I just hope that my messages do encourage someone. And today I am going to speak about an enemy that controlled my mind for many, many years. And that enemy is called worry. But before I speak on this topic, I want to read a definition that I found. Well, actually, I found two definitions on the word worry. Number one is give way to anxiety or unease. Allow one's mind to dwell on difficulty or troubles. Number two, a state of anxiety and uncertainty over actual or potential problems. Now, I want to highlight some of the phrases or words that were used to define this word, worry. Number one, let's take a look at the phrase that says give way to anxiety. It is clear that this means we are opening a door to anxiety. Number two, dwell on difficulty or troubles. Right here, it really indicates, is a clear indication that we are deviating from what the Bible clearly tells us to do. Like in Philippians 4:8, think of things that are true, honest, pure, and lovely. Nothing about being worried is true, honest, pure, or lovely. Also, let's take a look at the part of the definition that says anxious over actual or potential problem. We need to learn to just let God take care of our problems. I know it's easier said than done, but I'm going to go more into details as to what is the root of this problem. And in reference to the part that says potential, that means that we are worrying about something that actually may never happen. I remember when I was living in the Virgin Islands, I had to take a course for the job that I had. And I remember that one of the instructors in the class said that sometimes when we hear a bad news, we start thinking about the worst outcome. And that's a no-no. If you really were to really analyze the feeling of being worried, it is all negative. Not one part of it is positive. So right here we can all agree that this is not of God. For many years, when I went through things, I dwell on things. And I would always ask God, why am I going through this? Why am I going through that? There will even be times I will cry myself to sleep. And there were even times that I had so much anxiety and I was dwelling so much on the situation, it would affect my appetite. I would lose weight. I would even get sick. Yes, these things, things like anxiety and stress, it can affect your health. And I will try my best to explain what I have learned about being worried or anxious. And, I'm not going to make this a long video, but I hope that by the end of this would encourage someone, or also do what it did to me. One day it's like it hit me and I finally understood. I understood that I was causing this anxiety on myself, and it would never change until my faith level changed. I also understood that it would all change once I got to really know God. Once I had a true encounter with God, And once I understood who God really is, all of this changed. When you really get to know who God really is, once you have a true encounter with Him, it's like there's an automatic shift in your mind. You will understand that problems will come and certain situations will occur in your life. But you will also understand that one way or the other, it will get dealt with. Some situations, you just have to put yourself out. You understand? Out of it and let God deal with it. And some situations, you sometimes put yourself in it. So what you have to do is pray and let God give you the guidance and the wisdom as to how to get out of it. But the problem is that sometimes we are stubborn. Sometimes God gives us and gives us the wisdom, and sometimes He tells us how to get out of it, but we just don't want to do it. And that right there is a problem. And like I said, and when you have to fix it, you just ask God, pray, give me the wisdom how to correct this, how to fix this situation. And yes, it is also true. We hear many times that God would allow us to go through things over and over until we get it. But I truly believe that once you have a genuine, this right here will help anybody that's going through the struggle of anxiety and worrying about situations, things that you have no control of. This will help you. Once you have a genuine relationship with God, you will stop worrying. One, because you know already it's going to get dealt with. There's nobody that I know that has had a personal encounter with God and worries so much. Because once you know God, once you know who God really is, you know it's going to get dealt with. And if He allows you to go through it, it's for a reason. It's for a reason. So it's like you just understand, this is something I have to go through, and you don't open the door for anxiety. You just don't. It's no way you could have a personal relationship with God, a real encounter with Him, and still go through this anxiety. And once you stop worrying, you leave room to focus on what's important in your life. Once I stop leaving that door open for anxiety to come into my life, I was able to focus on being a good mother. I was able to focus on my relationship with God. And I was able to focus on creating a better future for my daughters and myself. And I was able to focus on fulfilling the purpose that He has for me. And I'm going to say something. When it boils down to it, it all has to do with our belief. Where is your level of belief in the belief of God healing? Your belief in God's prosperity? Your belief in He working things out? Once you truly believe that anything is possible, and that it's going to be all right, and that it doesn't make any sense to stress over bills and stress over car payments, mortgage. I know it sounds crazy, but once you have a personal encounter with God, you don't stress about these things. You'll get sick. So if you're sick and you end up in the hospital, the bills are still going to be there. Do you understand? Nothing is worth your health. Nothing is worth the worry. So today I encourage you to build a real relationship with God. Ask God to show you who He really is. You need to have a personal and real encounter, a revival to know who God is. And you're going to see how it's all going to change. Be blessed and stay encouraged. It's time to to leave no room for